So we are rolling. How have the changes in agriculture over the last 50 years impacted the environment, animal welfare, and our health?
The big change, particularly after the Second World War, has been the introduction of synthetic chemicals to agriculture in the form of pesticides and fertilizers. And we now have thousands of scientific papers showing the enormous damage they're doing to every part of the planet. These chemicals pervade the planet from the Arctic to the Antarctic. They are in the bodies of every living creature, including us. They are in our drinking water, they are in our air. They are causing numerous health problems and are a major part of the sixth extinction event on the planet, the Anthropocene extinction. The other change in this is in the industrialization of agriculture, which is also responsible for the clearing of most of the forests on the planet and the changing of the landscape. And this is an enormous extinction event. So it's the physical loss of habitat, and on top of that we know now that many of these chemicals act like synthetic hormones and affecting reproduction. Other ones are causing a whole range of other health problems. We're seeing the collapse of insects due to the overuse or the wrong use of insecticides, and of course this is causing a collapse up the food chain because of all the birds that eat insects, or the frogs and lizards and other animals. And so we're seeing this collapse of birds all around the world, particularly here in the United States.
What are the main concerns you have about the current food, agricultural, and farming systems?
My concerns are broken down into three major ones. One is the effect on our health and human health. The other one is the effect on climate change, and which is another existential threat because agriculture is one of the major contributors to climate change. And then the other concern is the massive biodiversity loss due to the clearing of ecosystems for industrial monoculture agriculture.
The sustainability movement has often focused on small, organic, local agriculture within a community. But what are the limitations for this sort of agricultural system with the overall food system? What are the successes of these sorts of agricultural systems?
Mainstream movement that supports industrial agriculture will say that smallholder farmers, small family farms are inefficient and you've got to get big and you've got to get out, and that industrial agriculture is the way to feed the world. But when we actually look at the real figures, with 70 years of industrial agriculture, we have never fed the world. And in fact, we have more hungry people now than we ever had. Industrial agriculture actually really doesn't grow food. It grows commodities, empty calories, calories empty of real nutrition. So on the other side, we actually have more people in the world now who are suffering from an obesity epidemic, from overweight. So on one level, we have more people going hungry. On the other level, we have another series of problems because it's empty calories that are being produced rather than nutritious food. If we look at small-scale organic agriculture, this is very biodiverse. It's not a simple monoculture. You go on these farms, there are multiple foods that are grown. And one of the best studies was done by Nabdanya, by Dr. Vandana Shiva and others, and they titled it Health Per Acre. Instead of looking at the pounds of wheat or the pounds of a commodity that you can get per acre, they actually wanted to look at what is the nutrition that you can grow per acre in terms of vitamins and minerals, proteins, carbohydrates, and other important food sources. And what they found is that on average, these small family farms, biodiverse farms, produce double the amount of nutrition per acre than the large monocropped industrial agriculture systems. So in other words, small family farms are not only more productive, but they are producing real food that actually nourishes people and will feed people. This is the future of agriculture.